All right. We get a little clap. Welcome to BitBoy Crypto, home of the BitSquad, the largest and greatest crypto community in all of the interwebs. This is BitBoy Crypto. We come to you every morning at 11:33 Eastern Standard Time. Tammy in chat, she was right. I was late talking to Ben's hashtag I got a guy. And if you like us having a guy, let's get a little hashtag I got a guy in the chat. We're looking right here on our YouTube. We're at 1.16 million subs. I know by the end of this weekend, we can maybe push towards 1.7, 1.8. If all things go well, maybe even 1.2. I know we certainly like to see that. TJ, do you think we can get to 1.7 by the end of the day?
Well, yeah, sure. Why not? Let's make it happen.
Why not? Why not? You know what? The best way to make that happen, smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. If you're not subscribed, we're looking at the metrics. Only about half of you are subscribed, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button. You know you want to. We're looking over here. We passed 475. We're up to 476 on the Twitter right here. Getting up there. We're getting up there. And, you know, if you want to give old DZBTC a follow, I'm not going to complain. But check out the website here, bitboycrypto.com, if you want to check out all our deals. But today, it's a crazy day. We're going to go right into the market watch. Bitcoin it's looking good. TJ, up 6% on the 24-hour, passing Ethereum. What do you guys say about that?
It feels good. You know, it's nice to see a Bitcoin pump. Everybody loves to see green. Looks like total market cap coming in almost at 1.7 trillion now. The volume pushing back up towards 100 billion. So, yeah, things are feeling good for a Friday. That's for sure.
Yeah. The volume yesterday, we're looking, it was around 80 billion. So, like he said, you know, we're getting close to 100. I mean, that's definitely the numbers we want to be more in. You know, the 200 range. The volume goes up. The dominance here, looking at 45.8. ETH 19.4, still trying to push up to 20%. I think it might hit 20% if we get a little bit of a run up this weekend. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I think it could. I think it could eclipse 20, and it'll be interesting to see how high it can climb from there.
All right. SLT saying Ben is fired. Don't worry. You know, hold on to your skivvies. Ben is going to be back. He's going to do some phone records. He'll be back hosting Monday. You don't have to see my ugly mug that much longer. Don't worry. Don't worry. But again, I'm not replacing Ben. I'm replacing nothing. And we were talking before the stream. TJ, you said I'm better than nothing?
Well, I think those were your words. I said you're the next best guy. You know, they were putting me on the spot a little bit and trying to say, like, oh, hey, you've streamed with Ben, you've streamed with DZ. Like, which do you choose? And of course, I got to go with Ben. I mean, we've been doing this for a long time, and we have a lot of fun. But I really enjoyed doing this with you yesterday, and I think a lot of people in the chat said it was a good change of pace, and they enjoyed it. So it's a lot of fun. It's hard to pick favorites, but if you're gonna put my back up against the wall, and which is what you guys did,
yeah,
I had to go with Ben.
Like mystical. Thank you for the chat there. The Vaporizer saying DZ killing it. Great job, buddy. For those who don't know, Frank was the king of the vapes back in the day. So make sure you check out the Hit Network. It's one of our other channels, along with New Money Gang, and you can. We'll put the camera on Frank today, and we'll talk about it. You'll see it in tomorrow's video.
Yeah.
We'll explore his vaping past. Any thoughts on his vaping past?
I heard he was a competition vapor.
Competition. So like, I mean, so
that's what I thought I heard. Maybe
I can't do a smoke ring or anything. I don't vape or anything. But I mean, that probably means he was like making dragons and stuff. You know,
Could be.
I definitely have to see it. Let's check out a trading view here. This is the Bitcoin 8-hour chart. We're seeing some nice candles. We're seeing some pretty good action. We go to the daily here. I mean, it's looking pretty strong. I mean, nice little run up. I believe, is this the 21 EMA here? But if we go to the 4-hour on these smaller time frames, I mean, we're seeing a little bit of green in the money flow indicator here. And like we said yesterday, this is the water for the plants to grow. And thank you, Justice Beaver. Let's make sure we hit those likes. But big news is lately, you know, the EIP 1559, it went live. ETH is being burnt up. It's disappearing. And it looks like a little bit of a red dot on the 8-hour here. So we might... I don't know. Maybe it's going to cool down a little bit. It's been running hot for since the 21st. So I mean, we're looking at weeks here. It's been on a run. I mean, if things cool down in the short term, don't be alarmed. You know, I mean, it's gravity. You know, eventually gravity has to take place. I wouldn't be too alarmed if we saw a red day or two. I mean, it is the weekend. We'll see what happens. I'd be more concerned on the action of Monday and Tuesday.
Mhm.
What are your thoughts on the weekend action with ETH and Bitcoin?
Yeah, it's always interesting to watch and see what happens on the weekend because I feel like it it's hard to predict. You know, like it's easy when we have futures closes, we kind of know what to expect on Friday afternoon, and then a lot of times I feel like what happens on the weekend is whether it's big or small can kind of set the tone for the rest of the week. So, we were talking a little bit this morning and we saw that, last weekend was pretty strong. We got some good activity, we got some good retail buys, and then it gives the institutions confidence going into this week to kind of keep pumping things up more. So I agree with you in the sense that we have had a good run up there recently, and it probably feels about right for a pullback right here to kind of keep things healthy. However, a lot of times when in the past, when we've seen situations like this and we get a huge kind of a nice pump over the weekend,
Hmm.
that's what can set everything off for the
Yep.
next week. So that's what I'm hoping for this weekend.
All right. Bobby Dials, DZ for president, TJ for secretary. I mean, D, you're at least a vice president, TJ.
Yeah, we did get the other guy in here and said TJ vice president. I don't do politics. I'll leave it at that.
Okay. Okay. Well, you don't want to, replace some of the lizard people.
Now that I'm always a fan for. So yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we
I
can do
mean,
that.
all it takes for evil to triumph is for good men to do nothing. So I
Mm,
don't know. Maybe we might have to step up in a decade or two.
great
Let's
quote.
check out the ETH that is being burnt up. Is a chart that updates. Let's see. We got it right here. The ETH being burned. We're at 5,000 ETH being burned. It's
Wow.
increasing. We're averaging about 200 ETH being burned every every hour. Now, this isn't reducing from the supply total because there is ETH being added. We covered it yesterday. I mean, there has been a block that was actually deflationary, but for the most part, I mean, ETH is being added to the network, but it's in a diminished capacity. So 5,000 ETH. I mean, we're looking at that's over $1 million, right? I mean, if it's over 2,000,
Hmm.
yeah. I mean, we're looking maybe 6-7 million in ETH being burned somewhere around. I mean, sorry, like 12 maybe.
Yeah. We'll see.
So some of the nerds in chat, we love our nerds. If you're a nerd, make sure you smash that like. We love nerds around here. If someone wants to do the math on the current price,
It's about
5,200,
it's about 14 million if you take
four,
it at
14 million,
2800 price.
gone forever. It's gone. I mean, it's not going to come back. If we look at some of the ETH stuff here, the EIP 1559 in motion, 10 million in ETH has been destroyed. At London launch. That was at 7 a.m. So I mean, we're hours now. So it's surpassed that since now. Highly anticipated London hard fork is launched on Ethereum without a hitch, and real-time results can now be seen of transaction fee burning. To introduce a mechanism that burns some of the gas or the base fee. This is very important for supply and issuance economics, which are currently inflationary for Ethereum under proof of work consensus. Again, we just want to stress it's still inflationary, but it has deflated the inflationary rate. So it's not as inflationary. Following the merge to ETH 2.0 and the switch to proof of stake, economics are likely to become deflationary. Well, again, we kind of cover that. That's why you got to listen to us. We sift through the noise, we sift through the sand, and we find the diamonds. That we give you the real info here. We're not just going to tell you what you want to hear. Like it'd be easy for us to say, oh, ETH's deflationary, it's disappearing. It's just less inflationary, and I mean that is an important distinction.
Hmm.
So using the current burn rate at 2.5 ETH per minute, that's a lot of ETH per minute, man. What do you think about that?
How much ETH per minute?
2.5 ETH every minute being burned.
That is a lot. I mean, and you made a good point there saying it's not deflationary, it's just more deflationary than it was, or less inflationary is another way
Yeah.
to say it. But yeah, I mean, getting that much Ethereum burned, like it's 100% going to affect the price. I mean, it's all driven by supply and demand. So we've already seen it in the first few days. It'll be interesting to see what happens this weekend. But I mean, that bodes well. I put it this way, I hold a lot of Ethereum, and when
Hmm.
I hear stats like that, I'm excited.
Yeah, I mean it's the main thing that I DCA into. I'm still buying. I bought some ETH yesterday morning right before the run up, so it's feeling pretty good about that. I mean, it's look. I mean, we're looking here. The network will destroy 3,600 tokens per day. This will increase once it's under a heavy load and gas prices increase. That's alluding to what we said earlier. There actually was a block that was deflationary to was minted, and then 2.07 was actually burnt. Deducting daily burn rates would mean that the inflation will decrease to between 1.25% and 2.6%, the report added. As we can see, based on the current supply, the burn figures, there's a strong likelihood that ETH becomes deflationary after the transition to proof of stake. Depending on the burn rate, the inflation rate of Ether may fall as low as negative 1%. And then, God, can you imagine if it actually becomes deflationary? Someone in chat was saying it's about, they'd have to burn 8.8 versus 2. What do you think would happen if ETH actually became deflationary?
Yeah, it gets interesting as long as it's gonna have to do with the rest of this London, not the London hard fork, but the whole ETH 2.0 upgrade for it to be able to get the throughput it needs for all the transactions. Because there is a trade-off with burning all this ETH, is that then there's left ETH to power the network.
Yep.
So if they get these new technical upgrades in over the next 6, 7, 8, 9 months that they're planning, it could have a huge impact on the deflationary effect. So, like we were saying, it all bodes really well. And couple just quick questions in the chat. Somebody was asking
let's go for it.
They were asking on Twitch if we hold more Ethereum or Bitcoin. And I know most of the people here in the office personally, I think, hold more Ethereum than Bitcoin.
Yep, myself included.
Yeah, and I know as an individual, I would say I probably hold more Ethereum, but for the most part, like our business, we definitely have more Bitcoin. But recently, I've been telling all kinds of people, they're saying like, oh, which altcoins should I buy? Should I get into Polygon or Aave or all these different coins? And recently, it's just been like, man, Ethereum looks so strong. Like, I don't know why anybody wouldn't just go with Ethereum.
Yeah, I was in the barbershop Friday, and barber asked me, he had bought Doge, and he was asking what I should buy or what he should buy, and I just told him, I like ETH. ETH is the future. If it does go deflationary, truly deflationary, I definitely see 10,000. That's when we might see the 17,000. But we'll see what happens. So with the London upgrade here, one side effect has been a surge in gas prices, or has it? According to Bit Info charts, average transaction fee has increased 70% over the past day or two to $15. I know there was a spike yesterday, but there's been a lot of NFT launches, and oftentimes the NFT launch will hit the network, and then boom, you'll see a very, very big surge. So, I think that's probably the explanation there. Also, there was a freeze on transactions depending on what network you're using. I know like Coinbase was freezing things. So if you have 3 hours where you can't make a transaction, well, as soon as that 3 hours is up, boom, everybody's throwing their transaction. So you're looking at it, that hour is going to be quadrupled the average. So saying makers can, yeah, it was one of the things we covered on the Around the Blockchain last night. It looked like it was really pumping that in Compound. Ethereum ecosystem researcher Trent.eth explained there's been a lot of network congestion due to NFT drops. It's almost, you know what? I didn't even read this article ahead of time, but that's why you listen to us. Me, TJ, the squad here. Yeah. This is the tight, strong info that you need to hear.
Well, and we're in it every single day. So what you get is the experience. Like, you've seen this happen several times in the past. So like, oh, okay, the ETH, gas fees are going through the roof. I bet there's a big drop going on right now. And there it is.
There it goes. And just lastly on here, exchanges disabling transactions during the upgrades. So that's, again, we were saying in miners setting low gas limits and general ETH market volatility. So with some of these upgrades, they can change the block size. So, when it is super congested, they could basically it's a user experience upgrade. So they're just trying to make the gas fees a little bit more stable instead of everybody overbidding themselves. What would be left over would normally go to the miners. Now you can still overbid, but it will go to the lowest possible price to still get your transaction through, and you receive the extra back versus the miner receiving the extra ETH. So, it's basically a user end upgrade. So we're seeing a little bit of anger, maybe the wrong word, but a little bit of upset, sentiment from the mining community. I know Son of a Tech was tweeting today, like he said a lot of his ETH miners are going to switch to Ravencoin. I know Nick DeMondi here in the office would love that, or even ETH Classic. So, we'll see what happens with the miners, but then when miners step out, then it's more profitable to mine, and then miners will come in. It's just the cycle that we see time and time again.
Yeah.
You did a little mining, right, TJ? I know
Uh,
Ben doesn't like to talk about it. I'm pretty fascinated with mining myself.
Yeah, mining is one of the first projects Brian, Emery, and I did from New Money Gang back in the day. We went and bought a bunch of like a 6 GPU rig, a 13 GPU rig, and maybe another 6 GPU rig, and then one that was just a test rig where we would try new networks. And yeah, we've mined a lot of Ethereum over the years. We actually did mine some Ethereum Classic back in the day just to test a different network, and Ravencoin. We've actually
Okay.
mined a decent amount of Ravencoin. And I'm not surprised because of what you just mentioned with the way the transaction fees have changed now on Ethereum that we're seeing Raven is actually the #1 pumping coin today, which
Mm.
doesn't surprise me too much when people that are in the know, they know all the miners are going to switch over there, and that's going to bode well for that network and that price. So
One of my crypto fails is I had a laptop that you had to keep plugged in at all times. As soon as you unplugged it, it turned off. And I didn't write down my Ravencoin wallet, and I lost some
no,
Ravencoin that I mined. It wasn't a
no,
lot. It wasn't a lot, but yeah, I've lost all my Ravencoin. Kind of turned me off. I haven't mined it since, but
yeah.
yeah. I mean, when in doubt, listen to the people smarter than you, and that's what I should have done. DZTJ's XRP price prediction.
Mm.
We're around what, 75 cents right now. I mean, if this SEC stuff, I mean, I know Ben's saying, I think he said as high as $7. I would be surprised to not see a strong pullback around all-time highs, 375, $4 ish. So
Mhm.
I think, we'll have a hard time breaking past 4. Once we pass 4, I would say 6. That's a 50% increase past $4. I mean, where do you land on that?
Yeah, that's a tough one. Anytime somebody's asking for a price prediction, like he doesn't say what time frame, so I
True.
assume I assume he means
This
maybe in
bull run.
the end of this year, beginning of next year. I think he can definitely break all-time highs, which like you said, 375, pushing $4. And if it does, gosh, I don't I don't know. I'll put it like $6.
Okay. Okay. Conway Twitty just said, just want to thank you for all the value and education you bring for free, and thanks for protecting all the investors. So appreciate it. That's why we're here. But speaking of not for free, how much for a TJ rig? Would
Oh,
you ever sell a TJ rig? Hit that like button if you'd like to buy a TJ rig.
a TJ rig.
Yeah, like a mining
A
rig.
mining rig.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Branded as TJ's rig.
Okay. Well, yeah. I don't know. Well, I guess it depends on how many GPUs are in there.
Okay, we were talking about your love. Have we settled on a price for the NFT of TJ's love?
No. It's gonna have to be an auction if we do it. And if we do, we're definitely doing one for you too. So I'm not doing this alone.
Don't drag me into this. Oh gosh. Difficult bomb upgrade. Please explain. So the difficulty bomb is something that got pushed back to December of this year. It's something that they keep pushing back. There's a lot of technical details behind it. I don't want to like go too much into it because I might say something that like might be incorrect, and that's not what we want to do here on BitBoy Crypto. But it's a difficulty adjustment that they keep putting off, and it's we'll see. I think they want the dust to settle with the miners. They want to see how the mining is going to be once with this EIP 1559, and it might get pushed back again, but I think it's more FUD than anything else. I mean, we're looking at a percentage change of difficulty for the Ethereum miners, essentially. So it's nothing too crazy. When they call it the difficulty bomb, it kind of gives it a scary name, but it's just a difficulty percentage. I want to say it's an increase. Does that sound right?
It is, yeah, and it's basically it's designed as more competition comes to the network, the difficulty goes up so that the hash rate goes up, and the more you the reason that I would guess they're pushing it off is this adjustment is already pretty negative on Ethereum miners. And if they were to hit them with a difficulty adjustment at the same time,
Yep.
you would see the mining rewards plummet so much that so many people, I think, would turn off their miners. And that's what they don't want to. They've pushed the miners about as far as they feel like they can push them, I think.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you don't want to poke the bear, but so many times, so.
Oh, yeah. And we should be saying crypto miners, too.
Crypto miners.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, we mean crypto miners. I don't
Yeah.
know. If you're thinking anything else, get your mind out of the gutter.
Yeah.
Lift your head, lock in on the keyboard, hit that like button with your mouse, and make sure hit that subscribe as well if you're not. DZ needs an emote. I have my own channel, but don't subscribe to it, please, because I'm not going to stream on it.
No,
So.
they did. They have been asking for some more emotes in Twitch. They wanted I want to do one that says DZ and like flame, text or something like something like some of these.
We need a TJ way before we need a DZ.
Well,
because
they
then
did ask
people
for
could do
that too.
TJ with the heart for sale win.
Yeah. Well, we'll get more emotes in there for sure, guys.
Yeah, it's just there's little hoops that we have to go through with Twitch, but yeah, if you didn't know, we're on Twitch as well. So make sure check us out. Twitch chat says they're the most lit chat, so I mean maybe you have to go there, verify for yourself. But speaking of ETH, there's Vitalik. He had some statements regarding the EIP 1559. He said he's more confident about the merge following Ethereum's successful London upgrade. London upgrade has been a success, and now all eyes are on the even more eagerly awaited merge with ETH.2. I love the drawings here. I mean, he looks so like just wholesome. You know what I mean? Like, is he about to bake some muffins?
It does look like that, doesn't it? He looks like he's in like a school, like home ec class, teaching kids about Ethereum.
DZ versus Peppers. That's alluding to my old Twitch channel. I ate some habaneros, but I did the Pocky one chip challenge. And we were watching in the office like a month ago. It was very, very painful. I don't recommend it. Yeah, I had to end the stream immediately. But yeah, I mean, if there's some footage of me eating 17 million Scoville food or something, or 1.7. It was hot. Way hotter than a ghost pepper. Way hotter than all those things. It was basically like ghost pepper concentrate. It was very rough. But back to Vitalik here, keeping it away from the peppers. Vitalik has hailed the London hard fork a success. He was speaking to Bloomberg, and he said the Ethereum EIP 1559 is definitely the most important port of the London upgrade, which went live yesterday and has tweaked the fee generation mechanism, resulting in a portion of the fees being burnt. I mean, we're looking at what the number was that got burnt right now. We're looking at 5,200, so even more than the 3,500 they were saying earlier. And he's saying it's proof that the Ethereum ecosystem is able to make significant changes. Sorry, Cardano people. I know you love to see ETH fail. I don't. Honestly, a rising tide lifts all ships.
Yep.
I want Cardano to be a success. I want Ethereum to be a success. We need to get away from this mentality that my coin is better than your coin, and I want your coin to fail. I mean, do you have any thoughts on that?
I agree 100%. I think the tribalism in crypto is a bit toxic, and I know some communities kind of champion that. But I agree with you 100%. Like, it's what's good for one coin a lot of times is good for all of crypto, and the best will rise to the top and the bad will fade away. And let's not get all distracted on one coin to rule them all type of an idea.
MGC said that desk is resting right at the top of DZ's thighs. You're not that far off. I have to like scoot down just to like type here. I feel like Igor or something, or like I'm the hunchback. But all right. Posture check. If you're watching at home, here's a little posture check for you. Hit that smash button if you like good posture. Where are we at on the likes right now?
Right now, we've got about 7,500 people watching, only 2,134 likes. So we can at least double that, get us up to 5,000 today on a Friday going into the weekend. Should be good.
5,000. And not only that, you got a minute, 24 seconds. Let's get it to 2,500. All right, back to this right here. Once merged, the new mainnet will have the ability to run smart contracts on proof of stake, eliminating the power-hungry mining operations, potentially lowering the network's energy consumption by 99%. I think 99% is a little bit of a stretch. He was saying now it gets much easier to send a transaction that would get included in the next block, and that's very important to the user experience. Developments have been positive for the Ether market sentiment, with Forbes running an article on the upgrade claiming that ETH may even flip Bitcoin. I think ETH will flip Bitcoin. I don't know if it'll happen this bull run. But I mean, the longer I've been in studying this Ether ecosystem, looking at the tokenomics, kind of watching the charts and everything, I think it will flip eventually. Do you think it will happen this bull run, TJ?
Yeah, this is something Ben and I have talked about a decent amount. We do think it'll flip this bull run, but temporarily. So I don't get the altcoin blow off top where it passes it, and then we think as we get back into the bear market, Bitcoin will reclaim the top spot. And then in the next cycle is when we think Ethereum will pass Bitcoin and remain past it probably forever.
Yeah, I think we might see a little bit of a bouncing back and forth.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, I think once it passes, like, with 20-30% market cap is surpass it, I don't think it'll. I agree with you. I think it'll run away. It'll be number one. I know Dan from Crypto Capital Venture. He'll be on ATB next week. He thinks Cardano will flip Ethereum eventually. Uh, I mean, I think Ethereum has such a strong network effect. It's going to be very, very difficult for any other protocol to surpass it, but
Yeah.
time will tell.
I mean, Cardano, we love Cardano. We're big ADA fans. It's great tech, great potential, but it's still just that potential. They haven't. I mean, they've got some projects on there, but they don't have nearly the ecosystem like Ethereum does, like you mentioned. So they've got a ways to go from a development side before they can even talk about flipping ETH, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, especially so like the NFTs aren't like really NFTs. People are saying, oh, they are doing things, but we'll see what happens with the smart contracts. Again, I want it to succeed, so we'll
Right.
see. Uh, we can bring up the Charles Hoskinson story where Ben people thought he was Ben, but me and Justin, who hosts Update NFT, we actually walked right by him. We locked eyes. We all looked at each other. We all kind of nodded, and then we all just like walked away. I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna bother this guy for
He's
a
super
picture.
nice.
You
I
know
took
he
a
was he
I
was looking at?
what?
He was looking at the NFT art.
No way.
Yeah.
Well, it makes sense. He's just a regular crypto guy like the rest of us. I met him at a conference, I think in 2019, and he was just walking around like a regular guy. I walked up to him like, "Hey, like I'm a big fan." We talked for like 10 or 15 minutes. He took a picture and just like a regular guy at the conference. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, he's just a regular guy. He steps into his Lambo 1 foot at a time, just like
Just
the rest of us. You
that's
know what I
right.
mean?
Just like the rest of us.
Or your 300, not a
Yeah.
Corolla.
Yeah. There you go.
All right, let's talk about Coinbase here. Coinbase enables crypto buys with Apple Pay, instant 100K cash outs, Google Pay to follow. Nasdaq listed cryptocurrency exchange. Coinbase has enabled crypto buys with Apple Pay up to 100,000. So announced Thursday, they'll be able to buy Bitcoin and other cryptos on its platform, and they're introducing a new seamless way to enable the buys with linked debit cards to Apple Pay and Google Pay and instant cash outs up to 100,000 per transaction. I know the whales are going to be excited about that. There's a lot of times where you can only pull out 10K a day. I don't have that problem. I'm assuming most of you watching at home, you don't have that problem, but maybe next bull run we will have that problem. So this is what I like to call one of those good problems.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I know on a corporate level it's going to be pretty large. If you already have the Visa or Master card debit card linked to your Apple Wallet, Apple Pay will automatically appear as a payment method when you're buying crypto on Coinbase. Announced that U.S. customers can also buy the cryptos with a connected bank account, with the wire transfer, debit card, or funds in their Coinbase USD wallet, and announced that selected users can use the Coinbase card with Apple Pay and Google Pay. In contrast, Thursday's announcement indicates that users no longer need to have a Coinbase card to use Apple Pay. I don't know anyone with the Coinbase card. Do you know anyone with the Coinbase card?
Yeah, I think we have one, but
Is that what y'all used to break into the bathroom the other day?
yeah. Well, that card is definitely gone and dead forever. That thing got disintegrated. But yeah, it's what's interesting to me here, and this is something we've talked about for a long time in crypto, is the seamless transition for things like Apple Pay, Samsung, Google Pay, things like that. Because when it becomes that easy to buy, sell, and transact in crypto from a digital wallet like Apple Pay, that's when we're going to see that major full scale adoption, when you don't have to download an exchange and verify yourself, get a wallet, do all these different steps. It's just one click. Oh, I'm going to use this to pay for that. So this is a pretty big development in my opinion. Also, we got the chat very excited. I don't know if you want to pull Trading View back up. I guess we broke 42. Looks like we're pumping right now.
Yeah, we can look at it right here. Let's put on a 15-minute here. Oh yeah.
There
Oh
we
yeah,
go.
I see that we got a nice little the money flow indicators going green. We have the water for the plants here, folks. The
And
water is hitting the plants. Let's go to Frank's favorite candle here is the 1 minute candle. And ooh, red dot Frank, you better close that 50x leverage long that you have open. But back to the credit card thing. If you want to see Ben break into a bathroom, make sure you subscribe to Hit Network. That's where you get to see behind the scenes. I was in there. It was totally embarrassing. I mean, I pee standing up, but my pants were around my ankles. It was very embarrassing. So if you want to see that, make sure check out Hit Network. Also, subscribe to the New Money Gang. But let's go to the Venezuelan story here. Venezuela to launch the digital bolivar in October. It's going to redenominate its hyperinflated bolivar. So, I mean, they're basically subtracting zeros here. So, a country struggling with hyperinflation is going to redenominate its national currency. It's going to launch central bank digital currency, a CBDC. Digital bolivar is going to be put into circulation October 1st. This is fast. This is happening. Announced on Thursday, it'll just look at this. It's going to adjust 6 zeros off its hyperinflated fiat. 6 zeros.
Wow.
That is, I mean, can you imagine what would happen if we knocked off 1 0 with our currency? But 6 zeros is, so for reference, $1 million has 6 zeros. So your $1 million becomes worth $1, or at least like half as much as TJ's love is worth, right? I mean, that is nuts. What if people are gonna?
That is crazy. And what's also crazy from we're seeing from a lot of these countries is when they make these moves, they make it fast. Like you said, like they're just announcing this and they're wanting to roll it out in October. And that comes from a place of need. A lot of these places are desperate to find a solution because they've been, you know, the dollar has failed them. Their local currency has failed them. Oh, I see. TJ's
love worth 1 XRP. I was laughing at that too.
Thanks, guy. But no, it's interesting to see how they're implementing this stuff and if it'll work. I mean, the Venezuelan bolivar is one of the ones that probably got some of the most media attention when they were going through that hyperinflation. So to see them going to CBDCs to try to solve that is interesting. Yep. However, it's not much different than what they were doing in the past. It's just a digital version of it. So it'll be fascinating.
So BitSquad, this is why we try to focus on inflation so much, because the government, you know, there's no other term for it. They're lying. They are lying to you when they tweak these numbers. You know, I've listened to some, you know, I've dove deep into these podcasts, and they basically been changing the numbers since the 70s. It actually kind of started in the 50s. So they'll just change the metrics and they'll say, oh, don't have to worry about inflation. I saw a sports stat. It said franchises are up 14% year over year. Sports franchises. We're seeing inflation. You're seeing it with the used cars. Like everything else, you know, you might not see it with your milk, but guess what? They're subsidizing your milk. There is inflation. If they say, oh, don't worry, deflation, I really think, to use Ben's words, it's smoke and mirrors. I mean, this inflation is happening. I mean, and we're seeing it with the 6 zeros. 6 zeros. I mean, we can't stress. I'm about to start screaming. I see why Ben gets so worked up. But I'm gonna taper it back. I'm gonna take it back. We still have more topics to cover, and you know, I might need to start bottling my rage, but I mean, I'm telling you, this dam's about to burst.
Yeah. Take a deep breath. Count the beads.
Count the beads. Count the beads. Those who don't know, I wear these because I used to have rage issues, but no longer. Mostly road rage. But smash the like if you get a little upset in your car every now and then. If the car in front of you seems to never use the return signal, go ahead and smash that like button. All right, but back to Venezuela. The next step came, so they're suffering from hyperinflation for years now. Inflation peaked in 2018 with the rise of 1.8 million %. 1.8 million %. While in the consecutive 2 years, it saw inflation of, only 9,500% and 3,000%. So they got it under control, TJ. You know what I mean? Because, hey, it's lower than 1.8 million %. Am I right?
Good Lord. A million %. That's insane.
Hugo Chavez first changed the country value at 1,000 to 1, while his successor made 100,000 to 1 in 2018, right at the peak of the hyperinflation. National currency is so battered that most of the economy now runs on U.S. dollars. Upcoming digital bolivar will use an SMS-backed exchange system for transfers and transactions between the users. So they launched the Petro in 2018. That was a digital currency backed by the country's rich oil reserves. Then the government tried to circumvent U.S. sanctions with Petro and push citizens to use the digital currencies. Those efforts failed. It's almost like they didn't trust their government after over 1 million % inflation. I mean, would you say they lost all trust at that point? I mean, it is pretty obvious, right?
Yeah. They were rioting in the streets. I remember they actually took a coffin full of all the local currency, and they reenacted that African funeral dance for their own currency. It was pretty hilarious. Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
1.8 million% is Shiba Inu, their local currency. Oh, hating on the dog coins there, but yeah, I mean that sounds about right?
Yeah.
Uh,
Also, people losing their minds. I mean, we're at 42,773 right now for Bitcoin. So 42,500 being a major key level. A lot of people are looking at for price action.
All right.
So with breaking through that, going into the weekend, if we can hold some of these prices today, we're looking mega bullish.
All right, I'll put it on TradingView again real quick here. I mean, yeah, I mean this is. It looks like a top is going to be forming, not the top. That was the 30-minute chart. We look here at the 4-hour. I mean, it could potentially run up some more. I mean, if we go back, I mean, just because it starts to rise doesn't mean, you know, it's time to panic or anything. You see how high it went on the VWAP here. We still have a little room to grow. I mean, I don't want to say, oh, it's just going to keep going up, but I will say, like, it can possibly keep going up. But again,
yeah,
we
still need to confirm this for sure. But
Oh, yeah, for
42,500 has been a major level of resistance since about May, when we had that major drop and we fell back through all this. So if we can break through this with, man, we're about to break 42,925 right now. Like,
yeah, and this 4-hour candle actually printed 9 minutes ago. So this is this candle just got confirmed. This one, yeah, I mean, you can see if this one just closed 9 minutes ago. Whoo, nice little run up there. So we'll see back to Frank's favorite candle, the 1 minute. Yeah, I mean, it's looking good. It's looking good. I mean, but don't trade on the 1 minute, folks.
No.
Only Frank. Only
Frank and
does
Iran. That's the Iran special too.
Yeah. Facts.
Yeah.
All right. Invesco and JP Morgan. We got that here. JP Morgan now offers clients access to 6 crypto funds, but only if they ask. They're offering 6 Osprey funds. I was looking at this story earlier. The latest move, the bank's private clients will now have access to new Bitcoin fund created by crypto investment firm New York Digital Investment Group, NYDIG. It's owned by Stone Ridge Asset Management. In addition to 5 crypto funds that the bank opened last month, Grayscale Investments, Bitcoin Trust, the Bitcoin Cash Trust, Ethereum Trust, Ethereum Classic Trust, as well as the Osprey Bitcoin Trust. So their advisors are not allowed to overtly promote the crypto funds and can only conduct the transactions upon the client's requests. Do you think they're really going to stick by that and say, oh, you know, I have all these awesome Bitcoin investments, but only if you ask? I mean, I'm pretty sure they're going to be doing it covertly. What would you say?
When you say covertly, what do you mean?
At the dinner table, at lunch, maybe
Right.
not in an email.
Backdoor deals, kind of trying to get the best for the best clients. Yeah, I mean, they're almost everything that comes out of these people is.
And by these people, what do you mean, lizard people?
I mean, banks, institutions,
okay.
big money players whose primary motivation is getting as much wealth and power for themselves. Generally, what they tell you they're doing for you on your behalf is a straight lie. So
yeah, and when we say bank people, we don't mean our bank tellers. You know,
No.
we
No,
love
no,
our
no.
bank tellers here. We're saying, you know, the fat cats in Washington and New York on Wall Street. You know, the ones you see the political cartoons from like 100 years ago in the history book. Those people, you know, where their shirt says like oil. Well, now it basically just says J.P. Morgan, Goldman Sachs.
Mhm.
These are the people manipulating the narratives, manipulating, you know, the markets, just manipulating our politicians. You know, I hate to say it. You know, DZ shave. I'm just following TJ's footsteps. I saw Young Dumb and Crypto video yesterday.
Oh, no.
TJ was clean shaven, and I said, I guess I'm never shaving my face clean.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm actually older. It makes me look younger. I'm actually 37. If I shave it, I look even younger. I think I already look a little young for my age. So, you know, I want to look like a man, TJ.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah. We say around here, beards are like makeup for guys. So if you can grow a beard, you're probably better off with it.
Well, you wear makeup, I thought.
No, I do not.
Oh, it's just your pores are just so immaculate. You know, are you on a skin regimen, TJ?
Yeah, I moisturize.
All right, he moisturizes. You hear that? TJ's love is. I think the price just skyrocketed with that news.
It might be going up as we speak.
Yeah, it's like the Bitcoin chart. There's a green dot forming on TJ's love.
Watch that money flow.
Something's indicating, but I'm not going to get into details here.
Oh, no. I'm just yeah. It's a
No, I was talking about the chart.
Oh, green candles, right?
Yeah, can't.
Yeah.
Anyways, what do they call the big green candle? Anyways,
Anyway.
look, we're off topic here. I'm turning into Ben already. I stood here and there's like an energy, like I don't know, it's like a ghost or something with Whoopi Goldberg. But back to the JP Morgan story here. The funds are going to be open to all users of its various wealth management platforms, including a self-directed Chase trading app. While the New York DIG fund is only open to the private banking clients. Goldman Sachs currently provides crypto services through a derivatives trading desk and a Bitcoin's future trading platform. It was rolled out last month. Firm has also filed for a sort of DeFi-based ETF. What do you think some of the DeFi choices they'll go with?
I think you're talking Aave, I think, is a common one.
Yeah.
Compound and Curve are the ones I hear a lot.
Yeah. I think Compound, maybe Maker. You know,
Yep.
Aave for sure. But we're looking at this chart here as the top banks investing in crypto and blockchain. So this is just their assets under management. You see 2,260 billion. These are trillions. These are trillions of amount. So Citibank 2.2 trillion, UBS 1.1 trillion, JP Morgan 1.1 trillion. Or I'm sorry, Morgan Stanley. JP Morgan 3.3, Goldman Sachs 1.1. I mean, this is a lot of money. You know, I would watch Shark Tank a lot, and I would hate when they say like, "Oh, this is a $1 trillion market if we just get 1%."
Yeah.
But usually it's like, "Oh, this is $1 million, $2 million market." No, we're talking about dozens of trillions of dollars. So, it's not out of the realm of possibility for these banks to say, "Yeah, maybe a 3%, 5%, 10% exposure." I think that exposure is just going to continue to escalate as it goes up. I don't know. What would you say? Like 5%, 10%? Where do you think, like in the 4-year time frame? I mean, they can't go like all crypto, obviously, but they got to go above 1%. Where do you think they're going to land at?
Yeah, and I think this kind of comes back to the conversation we were having a few minutes ago. So if they're saying 1 to 3% now, that means they're probably looking at 4 to 7%.
Yeah, that's
And
a good
then
point.
about the time that they get what they want, then they'll start upping those numbers. And then, like you said, as the market grows and expands, they're going to get more and more increased exposure as more of these physical assets and paper assets, which are like derivatives, which is quadrillions of dollars. All of that is slowly going to start moving over to blockchain based platforms, which is all the assets they have exposure in right now. So it
Yep.
will slowly become the majority of their exposure, but it might take 15 years.
Yeah. I mean, and we'll see. And once it is on the blockchain, we'll be able to be tracked. But I think they're going to do a lot of obfuscating. They're going to, they're going to break down the wallets into smaller wallets. Like they're not going to want you, the people, to know what they're doing. But
Nope.
I think the nerds will prevail. I think like that Reddit army. Maybe some of the BitSquad members. Crypto quant people. I think we are. I don't know. I'm bullish on our ability to track the lizard people and the snakes in the grass. That's just my 2 cents, though.
Yeah, no, I think
But
that's definitely going to be a thing.
all right, we're running a little behind. Let's get into this Google story here. Google running crypto ads again as new policy goes into effect. Under the new policy, which went into effect on the 3rd, advertisers offering cryptocurrency exchange and wallet services are once again allowed to market their products. The multinational giant banned crypto and ICO-related advertisements back in June of 2018. That's like towards the tail end of that ICO craze that was sweeping the crypto space, saying, "Oh, this bull run's going to keep on continuing. My ICO 5x." And the updated policy is going to allow regulated crypto entities to market their services once again. ICOs have been left out in the cold, however, much like TJ's love. Google's crypto ad policy revision was first outlined in June. I remember we broke that story. It stipulates that advertisers offering cryptocurrency exchanges and wallets targeting the U.S. consumers are allowed to advertise if they meet specific requirements. Looks like the requirement is just like, they just basically have to be regulated on some level. The move will provide additional sales for Google's parent company, Alphabet, although the crypto ads, it's definitely just going to be a drop in the ocean. The company has basically 150 billion in advertising revenue. I almost feel like that's low. I wouldn't have been surprised if it was a $250 billion at that point. Google's strict requirements are designed to weed out the shady advertisers and blatant crypto scams. They must be registered with the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network as money service businesses and with at least one state as a money transmitter or a federal or state chartered bank entity. I like that it's just at least one state. That way, if, say, Wyoming, does take the lead here, we can't get shut down because, say, the New York attorney or, California or something like that. Like, if we just need one state, I talk about this often. Google allowing crypto ads would have blown up the market in 2017, but we keep seeing all this good news. We keep seeing all these good fundamentals, but then the market just doesn't quite react. I mean, maybe adds a little bit of credence that there is a little bit of suppression. I don't know. What's your take on that?
Yeah, somebody in the Twitch chat, as you were reading that, says, "Oh, funny, the crypto market's pumping and Google's allowing ads again." So it is something we've seen in the past where they allow it when things are bullish and things are going up, basically when they know they can make money from it, and then they turn it off when they feel like they're not going to make money from it. It's something that's very frustrating for us
Yeah.
because they make it next to impossible. We can't even advertise merch because they say it's a crypto thing.
Yeah,
So
can't even get a T-shirt on that. They're saying Wyoming isn't real. Hey, I've never been there, but who knows? Who knows? DZ reads at a solid 12th grade level. Hey, I was reading at a 12th grade level in 5th grade. I was actually top accelerated reader in my school, 7th and 8th grade.
And
So
speaking of your past a little bit, we've gotten a lot of questions in the chat over the last few weeks that we haven't addressed. They were wondering if you played Legacy.
Legacy, yeah, I was really big into Legacy. I had a giant Legacy collection, a lot of dual lands. These are all Magic the Gathering things. I'm not going to dwell on this too much because it's ultimate nerd stuff. But yeah, I was really into Legacy. But BJ is the reserve list whale in the office. I'm a guppy swimming in BJ's wake. So
Yeah, we got a few. I think it's you, Steven, and BJ are probably the biggest Magic people here, right?
yeah, and you know what though? You're the most magical, TJ.
Oh, thanks, DZ.
Yeah. Bullish on DZ's reading skills. Thank you very much. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe once the words get into like 4 syllables, maybe I'm gonna have a little bit of a trouble. DZ Scholastic Book Club. Remember the book clubs? I miss those days. You get the little funky eraser. You get like like a little cool bookmark and stuff. I was usually too poor to afford much, but I'd get an eraser every now and then. You remember those things, the little book fair days?
Yeah, that's great. We're actually talking about potentially doing a book club type podcast there in the future once we get into the new building.
All right. DZ, you still nervous? You're killing it, my guy. Nerves. I don't have nerves. Nerves of steel, maybe, but mostly because I'm dead inside. Emotionally, much like TJ.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get to this last subject.
Too
here.
real.
That one was too close to home, folks.
Yeah.
All right. Senator who wrote controversial crypto tax rule proposes modest revision. That's a joke. This is a joke. CoinDesk. Come on, CoinDesk. I get it. They actually get these senators on their shows and stuff. So, I mean, they have a fine line that they have to walk. But bill excludes only proof of work mining or the selling of hardware and software that gives individuals control of private keys to digital assets. So Mark Warner, Rob Portman submitted a competing amendment on Thursday to an earlier amendment to the Senate Infrastructure Bill cryptocurrency provision. Those we went with it. The original bill, very, very bad for crypto. Then we had an amendment, probably going to cover it here. Amendment, a copy which was obtained by CoinDesk, is limited in scope, excluding only proof of work mining or the selling of hardware or software that permits individuals to control private keys. In a tweet Thursday evening, the executive director of the DC think tank Coin Center called the amendment disastrous. He added, and it does nothing for software devs. Ridiculous. The crypto-specific provision would raise $28 billion toward $1 trillion in infrastructure improvements, but has been contentious, briefly holding up the entire infrastructure bill. You know what? We're still at a deficit with these raised taxes. The $28 billion was basically a drop in the bucket of this $1 trillion bill, $1 trillion. And so, I mean, there is I don't know the exact number. You can't even trust the number because it's a projection, but we're running another deficit for yet another year. I mean, it's deficit year after deficit year. It's been a long, long time since our government hasn't operated at a loss. So, I mean, this is why we are into crypto. I mean, I'm long on crypto. I don't want to say I'm short on the U.S. economy, but I'm short on our spending abilities. So, crypto-specific provision would raid 28 billion. So Ron Wyden, Cynthia Loomis. I'm still going to say Loomis, even though I heard Lummis. I just can't get behind Lummis as much as I like hummus. But Wyden, Loomis, and Tooney proposed their amendment earlier Thursday to ensure miners, node operators, developers, and other non-custodial industry participants are exempt from the crypto tax reporting provision. This is what we need. This is the amendment that we need. This is the time, research, if you want to call your local politician, now is the time. I mean, this amendment is like, it's not perfect, but it's the only amendment that is going to get passed that might be worth a flip. The other one is just way too much. I mean, we're looking at this, miners, node operators, developers, non-custodial agents. These people are going to be exempt from this KYC information, this 1099 information, because the way it is now, if, TJ, if I want to send you $10 in Doge to cover the pizza, you then have to, we have to get a 1099. Like all of a sudden, I'm a broker. I mean, the whole thing is ridiculous. It's going to ruin our ability to lead the world and the globe in this ecosystem. What's that super chat about the
Richard Ellingson, when do we get our rewards in the bit pool? I'm on the 4th epoch. They'll pay out when the next epoch starts, so it'll start very soon. If he's on it, maybe our pool just hasn't launched it yet, but very soon once that 4th epoch starts.
And at the end, we're going to talk about the drop. The BitPunk holders did get a drop, so we are going to cover that after this real quick. But back to this, the Biden administration formally supported what it called a compromise in a statement shared Twitter late Thursday. Wyden tweeted that the competing amendment provides a government-sanctioned safe harbor for the most climate-damaging form of crypto tech called proof of work. It would be a mistake for the climate and for innovation to advance this amendment. Loomis tweeted that our amendment protects miners as well as hardware and software developers. The other does not. The choice is clear. They are hiding behind, they're saying the regulation is for the environment. That's crap. That's bull crap. It's not because there's, we can't have, proof of work. We're trying to save the environment. It's all crap. It's all crap. These people's top donors are banks. They're saying, they're getting a phone call. I'm going to pick you up. This is Leonardo. Is Leonardo?
No, Michelangelo.
This is blue. I thought Michelangelo was orange.
Maybe he is. Mikey is orange.
Leonardo?
Leonardo is definitely the purple one. Raphael.
That's Donatello. Look,
okay, you're right.
We're getting off track here.
You're way up. You're right.
Essentially, they're saying, oh, well, what is this crypto bill? I don't understand anything in it. They say, oh, well, the bank doesn't like it. Oh, say enough, fam. Click. That's all. That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. They don't understand what's going on. It's. I see why it says smoke and mirrors all the time, because this is smoke and mirrors, and it makes me sick. I am getting disgusted. I mean, this is just covering the same thing. They're finishing the bill. Following closed-door negotiations, they failed to reach an agreement on the remaining amendments. This is a battleground. This is a battleground. We got these two amendments. One is ridiculous. One is basically our only hope. So save me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Save me, TJ. What are we going to do? We actually, in the office, we called our local representative today. They had an aide answer. He was very interested in what we had to say, and I was very surprised it didn't just stay busy, go to a voicemail. So call your politician. I mean, we can make a change. If the crypto community comes out of the dark basement, where you're looking at your 7 screens staring at the 1-minute chart, this is how we're going to affect the change. So back to the story, we're trying to vote on amendments all day, but I've encountered numerous objections from the other side, Schumer said, referring to, look, both sides want it, whether it's Schumer, whether it's Mitch McConnell, Turtle Mitch. Whether either one of them, they want the big banks to be happy. We want the people. Look, we can't have wallet operators. We can't have, look, if you stake your crypto, you're a broker now. You're going to fill out 1099. What are you going to, if you want to send someone a little Doge, you're gonna have to do a 1099. It's ridiculous. This is going to ruin the crypto industry. But we'll see what happens. It does not include $57 billion in added revenue that the center's estimate. Yeah. So like I said, this brings me to my earlier point. There's going to be a deficit. Look, this is bad. This is all bad. Look at that.
Wow.
And you know what? I've never disparaged someone's physical appearance, but that's more about the general tone of what they got going on with their facial expression. Yeah. Does that look evil to you?
Yeah.
I don't even know who this is. I just know. I wouldn't trust them. I wouldn't trust them for anything. I wouldn't get a haircut. if I scanned out at a grocery store, I'd check to see, do they charge me for 2 cans of cream of mushroom soup? Like, it just screams, the shadiness is pouring out of the eyeballs. But yeah, that's all I got to say on the Senate thing. I mean, we'll see what happens, but I do want to cover our drop real quick for our Bit Token. Back to a better topic here, giving the Bit Squad some money. That's what we're here for, right? We all wanna pump our bags. Let's get TJ some tacos. TJ, I don't know what that last word is. I'm scared to say it in case it's a bad word.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know, don't Google it. Don't Google it. Who knows? Who knows? Ignorant idiots. You're right. All right. So Hyper, we did an airdrop this week. If you have the BitPunk, it was Regulator. Those who don't know, we had BitPunks for sale on OpenSea. You hold the punk in your wallet. We airdrop a new coin every week to a new punk. This week's punk was Regulator. This week's coin was Hyper, not like Hyper Uppercut with Street Fighter. Hyper, HYPRR. So if you have the Regulator BitPunk, check your wallet. It's in there right now. I was looking at their social media. It's basically a decentralized social media, social blockchain powering the decentralized social apps of the future. We were checking out their site earlier. Kind of like a Instagram type vibe mixed with Pinterest kind of. Because you know you can like look at the different hashtags here. I checked it earlier to make sure like no naked ladies will pop up or anything like that. Oh, that's pretty close. But so yeah, I mean you can it's cool. It's like it's a decentralized Pinterest, Instagram type of mixture there. So that's Hyper. How do is the token, and TJ, how do you do today?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good today. Anytime Bitcoin's pumping, I'm in a good mood. So I'm liking to see us above 42,600 right now. Feeling good on a Friday. Going into the weekend. Life is good.
Oh, that was Loomis. They're saying, oh,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, Loomis. Oh, God. It said right there. Yeah, no, I was saying earlier, that is the bill that we do want, the Loomis, the Wyden bill. This is the bill. You know what? This is our ally. You know what? Guess what? I'm on her side now. I flipped the script. Bro, that was, yeah, she's on her side. All right, I'm on it. I'm sorry. Cynthia. Hey. Cynthia. Come on now. Here. Can you put it back on her page real quick? Yeah. I need to talk to her real quick. Cynthia, I'm sorry. Do you forgive me? I'll rub your feet. I'll do whatever it takes.
Whoa.
I'll do whatever it takes. Maybe that'll be an NFT, the DZ NFT.
Yeah.
I won't sell my love. I'll sell a foot rub. I will not do that. I will not do that. I should not have said that. Let's not make that a thing.
You're locked into it now.
Delete it. Can we delete this stream?
No. We can't trim it, but that ain't happening.
I messed up. Oh, I stepped in it with that one. Okay. You know what? Just parting thoughts on this amendment bill. The Cynthia Loomis, that is the one we need to push forward. One of them is just going to totally derail the industry in America. The other one is our only hope. I mean, we do have some allies, so show your support. Don't be afraid to call your politician. Tell the people, tell them like, look, the Cynthia Loomis amendment is the good one. The other one is just going to stifle innovation. It's going to let these other nations surpass us. We don't want these, we love our viewers in other countries, but obviously it's going to be bad for America because it could just be what we see like as a domino effect, is this regulation. It's going to put a stranglehold on the industry, and it's going to be bad. So call your politician, let them know, the Loomis amendment is the good amendment. The other one, it's a bunch of bull crap. Oh, what? The big banks don't like it? Oh, no. That's the one we don't want. We don't want the one that the big banks want. The big banks want to shut down the crypto industry. So that's all I got time for today, Bit Squad. I'm getting worked up here, so I'm going to have to go get a little Zen moment, count my beads. Ben will be back Monday morning. He's going to have some phone interviews for you, but that's all we got right now. Easy out. Later, Bit Squad.
Be blessed.
Be blessed.